Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me, and welcome to Keeping It Real Fishing. So yeah, guys, I just placed an order, and we're gonna do a kind of a big bait unboxing here. Just got an order from Tackle Warehouse, took advantage of that Labor Day sale. Got some cool stuff here that I want to show you, and just because I haven't uploaded a video in forever, want to just get a little something out, even if it's just a basic tabletop right here. Let me just mention real quick, guys, I've been working long and hard on the review of this guy. That is the Black Dog Bait Shellcracker G2. This happens to be in the new realistic wrapped finish. And you know what? I can just throw in one little snippet right here. There you go. One little tiny snippet of our intro there. Full long-term review, kind of like a 6 to 7 year review coming on that. I'm editing that now. Please stand by. That'll be up soon. But anyway, guys, let's take a look at some big baits. Alright guys, first we have the very famous Bass Trix paddle tails. I had a couple of these years ago when I was young in like a 4-inch size. I've had some of the other copies from other manufacturers, but they make them big. This is the 7-inch size. And these happen to be on a clearance sale on top of the regular sale. You know, Bass Trix, there was a moment in time where Bass Trix was like the thing back in the day, early in the swim bait game. They were the deal. The only problem with these is, and I always read this, and here just realizing it now as I open mine, they're very, very irregular in the pores. Some are cockeyed, they're sideways, they're all over the place. So I've always heard ratios like maybe 3 out of 10 swim good, and I could totally see that, because I'm going to try boiling them, but a lot of them have just come like really crooked. And they're kind of resilient too. It's not like they just, not like that. They're not very limber, I should say, the plastic. But anyway, I got some of the 7-inch ones and the 8-inch ones. The coloring is fantastic. I guess I could take one of these out here for you. You could see how big they are in hand. Here you go, guys. Bass Trix paddle tail, Lanier herring. It's a very, very cool design, old school design. Of course, they're still sworn. A lot of people still swear by them. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've used them. I like the way those eyes bug out there. It's kind of cool. And yeah, man. So that should be cool. Try the old famous Bass Trix. And another thing I always read is, yeah, they are heavy on the oil that they package them in. Wow. Alright guys, not a super huge big bait, but kind of in the big bait philosophy. Smash Tech. These are the new color. Now, a couple years ago when these first came out, I was rocking these little bluegills here in the original bluegill color, and I got a few decent fish on it there. They've since come out with a perch color, which is cool, but I like this. I like this light bluegill. And you rock these on the Owner Beast hook. They use the 6/0 Beast, as you can see. And I was just really impressed by these lures. They had a really good swimming action at both slow speed and a little bit quicker, but I found I really liked rolling these slow on the bottom. That tail's it tapers down pretty darn thin. You could really crawl these and get good tail action out of them. I like that it has that Owner Beast in there. And this one purposefully is not, you know, I have bigger bluegills, but this is a modest sized bluegill. And sometimes that's the deal. You know, it's still a good, healthy meal. It's just not too big. You can see there's the belly slit. The only thing I found out about these, this is the 5-inch size. They also make it in the 7, and I've used both. There's not a lot of meat here in the nose. Focusing on that. There's not a lot of plastic up here in the nose, and I did have problems with the screw lock ripping out. So you definitely have to supplement it with toothpicks going in or some system, because that was kind of ripping the nose out kind of readily. What do we got? Big baits, guys. For those of you guys who follow the channel, you know I have a ton of swim baits. I love swim baits, but my main philosophy is just big baits. I never like limiting myself to just one category. So, man, a tube, a tube is such a confidence bait. It just seems to get bit no matter what. So I just apply that to my tubes. I have tubes all the way up to 8 or 9 inches. These are the 6-inch ones by Bass Trix. And they don't have a very fine cut in the back. That's the only thing I never really liked about these, is that there's only a kind of a handful of strands. I think it's maybe like 9 or 10 strands, versus when they cut them real thin, they kind of flail around more. But nonetheless, these get bit. It's a good size. You can kind of see how it is there in hand. 6-inch size. And I love just pitching these, you know, to timber and working them through grass. Anything you would do with a normal tube, I just like throwing those bigger ones. And this is in that rainbow color. Zoom in there. That's a nice color, man. Thus far, I've been using them in like green pumpkin and kind of more neutral colors. I don't know if I missed this before or what. I figured I would have ordered it in the past, but I just noticed the rainbow color. Nice deal there. All right, this one I'm a little conflicted on, but I'll show you guys here. Okay. All right, don't tell anybody, all right? We're just gonna keep this quick, because nobody talks about these things. Lunkers, grubs. You can see there's an absolutely freaking gargantuan, massive grub. And that's all you need to see. I'm gonna let my lack of telling you more be evidence of the fact that I kind of didn't even want to show you that in the best way possible. I think you guys know where I'm going with that. Let me show you these. These are really, really cool. These just came out. What is these from? What's this company's name? Ledgehog. Look at that thing, man. That is a 5-inch blade bait. You know how heavy that is? 3.5 ounces, dude. That is gonna sink, sink, sink. But anyway, I have blade baits up to about 4 inches, and they're more slender. But this one here, the obvious thing is that that really cool photorealistic shad finish. Not to say that I think it makes so much of a big deal when you get down into those depths and there's not a lot of light left, but I just like the fact that it has a big prominent eye. You have basic contrast between the back and the sides here. You know, blade baits, when you whip them up, they vibrate so fast and they sink so fast that the nuances of the paint scheme is not terribly important. You know, either a silver or a gold color is probably all you need. But I figured this can't hurt either. This can't hurt. I mean, they see silver and gold all the time. And so when's the last time, though, that they saw a 5-inch? Can I get it out of here? All right, guys, stand by. Hold on. Here we go. When is the last time they saw a 5-inch blade bait? Now, one of the things I like to talk about whenever I'm looking at kind of big lures like this, and you're probably like, whoa, you're just kind of taken back by it right now, as I am. But the thing I always like to remind myself is big within category, but not that big overall. There's a number of lures which I kind of apply that to. This is not, I mean, if smaller than a HUD 68, smaller in size, absolute size and profile. You know, it's a good meaty lure, but it's just, it's really rocks your mind because it's like, whoa, it's a giant blade bait, but that's nothing that any 3-pound fish can't annihilate, right? I mean, it's no different than really this. That's a 5-inch bait. This one just happens to have a little bit of a deeper belly, and most people would say that this is small for a swim bait, but they think that this is, you know, ridiculously big. It's just big within category. So that's what I like to apply, and that's really paid off over the years, is not being afraid to go into different categories of lures, whether we're talking those giant grubs we just saw, or really big tubes, and these aren't even that big. And just remembering that, you know, I've gotten so many fish on like an 8-inch HUD and my, you know, 8 and 9-inch glide baits. You can scale your other categories of lures up. Don't be afraid, guys. Not to say you're going to get bit like crazy. You know, it's definitely going to cut down on the bites, but if you're looking for that giant, scale up all categories of lure, right? Be a big bait angler overall. A lot of people run just big swim baits. I like to be an advocate for big baits of all categories. I did get a little bit of a smaller one here too. Still a good size lure. This is the 4-inch model. A little bit of a different color there. You can see the weights there too. The 4-inch is 1 3/4 ounces. Still a very, very robust and heavy blade bait that should get down into those depths rather quick. One cool thing I'll just mention, guys, I was looking at the manufacturer's website, is depending on where you rock this hole, you can either really, you know, have it tumble down there and get it down ultra quick and work it as a blade. And I think the last one on the back here, you can, it wakes. I mean, it easily wakes at a moderate retrieve. Even this one here at the 3 3/4 ounces, It's just the angle of retrieve. Once you get that really, really high angle on the back, they kind of drove home this point on the website. They're saying that you can easily wake this bait. And then as you go forward, it gets progressively, you know, it wants to go progressively deeper to the second and first hole where it really wants to live on the bottom. I am so excited to see about that, you know, because to me, that makes it such a diverse lure. I could, you know, rattle it off the bottom, and I could use it as like a lipless crank in, you know, 5 or 6 feet of water. That'll be so cool. I intend to report back to you at some point with a full review after getting a few fish on these. Very cool. Who's this manufacturer again? Ledgehog.com. These just hit Tackle Warehouse. Yeah, man, check them out if you're looking for some big blades. What else do we got here, guys? Oh, I lied. There's one deviation in the big bait unboxing. This is taking me back to when I was a kid. One of my earliest lures, I think I was a hand-me-down from my uncle, was a Hula Popper with those rubber skirts that always melted. If you guys have any of the originals, you know they don't even last you a season. They always melted. Anyway, I just thought this was so badass, and it took me back. Cool, wicked color there. This is the what do they call this? They had a better name for it. This just says bluegill, but it had a cool name for it, like killer gill or something. And let's take it in here, give you a quick look. Hula Poppers, man, always catch fish. Can somebody please make like a 5-inch Hula Popper? Like same exact dimensions, but just proportionally scale it up. I would rock that all day long. Love these little things. Still throw some conventional gear from time to time. I like to follow up areas after I'm hitting with my big stuff. Before I leave, I always like to make what I call a couple cleanup casts with my traditional lures, and you got nothing to lose there. But yeah, man, Hula Popper, sweet. And I think, is this the last thing, guys? Nope. 2 more things here. Check it out, Lucky Craft came back out with the SKT Magnums. These didn't exist for a while. A year or 2 ago, they had I think like 5 or 6 colors, and all of a sudden I started realizing I couldn't find them anywhere. And I was about to stock up because there was some on eBay, and even on there they were like in short supply, and I was like, man, I always love this. It's a big 4-inch what do I want to say, square bill crank. These things are awesome for you know, for running pretty shallow. And then they just dried up, and I was like, oh man, that's a loss. This is such a great lure. Well, they were just, I don't know, redesigning it or whatever, but they're back. Tackle Warehouse is stocked, and they got a ton of new colors here. This one really caught my eye. Flashy, loud, even got some chartreuse on the nose there, so you can kind of see it a little bit. Bright red bottom, holographic sides. This one here, by the way, is the Flake Kabuki. Can't go wrong with those, man. Love those big square bills. And here's another cool one from Smash Tech, guys. And we're going to be wrapping up soon. Hand painted. I have this one lake in particular where I want to use a trout, and I don't want to use my slower Huddlestons. I don't want to use my 68 Special. I don't want to use my 8-inch HUD. I don't want to use my Real Prey. I want a large-ish trout. I want it to be authentic looking, but I want a faster kick. There's nuances of this lake that I won't go into right now, but that's kind of the deal. And so, man, Smash Tech just answered the call of exactly what I'm looking for. Let's get our focus going. Make some cool stuff, man. They really do. Hand painted, obviously. Airbrushed, I should say. Nice, you can see right there, I like how blunt the nose is. Not terribly great for weedlessness, but gives you a lot of purchase, so you can use the extra large screw-ins. Step up your screw-ins when you're using those beast hooks or the trocar hooks. There's your hook slot. Not too deep. They give you a lot of material in the middle to kind of grab the hook. You could always cut out more. I don't mind it when they don't cut the hook slot too deep, because sometimes that allows the hook to really stay in place and not always to like kind of flip out the top. But you can always carve out a little bit more if you want less material for it to pass through, and an accompanying slot on the top, so your hook point stays truly recessed. This guy here is 7 inches in length, and as you can see, you get a pair to the pack, and those look really sweet. Yes, that will do. That will do quite well. And let me see, guys. I think that. Oh, no! I'm sorry. I saved the best for last. I forgot about this. Bada boom, bada bing. Coalition Bait Co. I think these are gonna freaking blow up, man. I have nothing to do with them, but upon getting these in hand, I could see that these are the deal. These are really well thought out. These are actually semi-translucent for you clear water guys. It's not a perfectly opaque lure. Kind of strikes the middle ground between an opaque and like a ghost, like say Huddleston does. It's not that clear. Those are kind of weird because you could always see the internals and it just looks fake. This is kind of a in-between, which I like. And here is a bluegill. And here is, I think this was called the Natural Sunfish. 5 1/4 inches. It takes the owner's 6/0 beast hook. And we're finally getting into baits that have a high profile, that look really meaty top to bottom. And they're fully enclosing that beast hook there. Might be a little bit of an issue with setting the hook. I mean, I know what I always do is I always go braid to a like a shorter copoly leader. So, you know, with braid and a stout rod, you're good. But for new guys fishing other stuff, you might really have to lay into them or step up to a higher strength rod, because that hook is not going to be exposed. It's not going to actually be able to hit anything to push up and out. You just really, this lure doesn't compress either. There's no air cavity in there. We're going to have to see about hookup ratios, but visually, it looks great, and of course we have to get it in the water as well. But it looks the part. I think it's going to do well. I hope it does well. One thing I noticed, guys, is pretty cool. They're really addressing the issue that so many of us have. Look at that. Nose anchors. And they don't give you instructions on how to use it, but it's kind of self-implied. They show them in a crisscross. So I guess the idea is you screw in your twist lock, your screw lock, and then you put them in at opposite angles, coming in from either side of the nose, and that helps to keep the the beast hook or the choker hook secure. Anyway, I thought these were pretty wicked, guys. Coalition came up with some sweet stuff this year. Really looking forward to using these. Really looking forward to using them. You know what? That was really whack, guys. Here, these are probably the most compelling lure in the tabletop, and I didn't even open them up. So here we are, out on the water. Let's crack these open, get these out of the package, and really, let's keep it real, right? We're not learning too much keeping it in the package. Let's take it out and take a close look at this lure here out on the water. There we go. What do you guys think? Paint job's legit. Alright, so let's take a look. We saw the paint job even in the package. Alright, so you got little recessed, ooh, look at it. It's even cut out there in the dorsal fin. That is so cool. This uses the 6/0. We're gonna have to rig it up and see, but that would be so cool if the point's actually coming out through there. Really slick. There's our hook pocket. Okay. Nice. Okay, pretty cool, guys. Let's see how limber it is. Pretty limber. Width-wise, it's relatively narrow, but on par for a bluegill of this size. Looks good, the fins and everything. Man, this really looks sweet, guys. I think we got a winner here. Take a quick look at the other one. All right, everybody. Second color there. That is the Natural Dark Bluegill. Purple, orange, hook pocket, bottom part. Looks good, looks real good. Alright guys, hope that helped a little bit more. Just taking them out of the package there. I'm going to rig these up and get a little bit of time with them. And yeah, if these prove to be successful, and I'm hoping they do, I think we got a real winner in our hands. It has everything checks the checklist. We'll just have to see about that hookup ratio. Alright guys, that's it. And haven't snagged a shirt in forever. I have too many of these things, but Heather Blue. It's a nice color, right? Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and like I said, I'm going to be back with you pretty soon on that G2 review. Alright everybody, tight lines out there, and see you soon.